This is an S1 by X Tool. There's a 20-watt laser inside this thing. And today, we're gonna make that. Here, let me take it off the wall. We're actually gonna make another one just like this. So it's called layered art or a shadow box 3D art. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors in this piece of art. And each color should be painted on its own individual wood slice. So these are 1/8 inch basswood sheets. And I'll show you it's step by step how we did it, what materials we used, and we're gonna actually make this look better. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is paint these sheets. So these are all acrylic paints, just kind of a typical paint, like a house paint. It's water base. This is white, that's black. This is called brownie. This is engine red and milky white. These are cheap foam sponges. I think I got these at Menards, and we just kind of cut them up into little cubes, and we'll be painting the wood with that. Of course, gloves. Now we're gonna do a couple of coats of this. We're gonna go with the grain on coat number 1, and then we're gonna go against the grain on coat number 2. Remember, this is just the first coat. Brown. Running out of paint. So it's been a couple of hours. Everything has dried. Everything's got 2 coats of paint on it. So we're gonna take it over to the laser cutter, but before that, we're gonna mask each of these pieces. So speaking of taping or masking, we're gonna use that with these colors only because the white is way in the background. I'm not gonna do any cutting on that. The black is already black. Not concerned about that. But the charring or the discoloration, burnt marks or scorching might happen in this brown, the cream, or the red. So those pieces will be taped off. It's basically one big fat piece of kind of lightweight masking tape. Okay, that one's ready. So this program on the computer is originally intended for paper cutting. So you would cut the paper here like this, and then you'd layer it and put it behind a frame. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna crank it up a little bit and cut through wood. The background still has to be cut, but I think it just has to be cut out to the right size. So we'll place it into the machine, then we'll go over here. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail on this program. This is called X Tool Creative Space, and it works in conjunction with the X Tool laser engraver. But I've got to determine the thickness of that piece of material that I just put in. There's a little feeler on there that'll go down, it'll touch this material, and then it's going to go over to the side of the machine for a reference as to how thick this piece of material is. So now we have to tell the machine how big that piece of wood is. We manually put it over into one corner like that, push a button, and then we go to the other corner way down here, push a button. So it shows how big the work surface is. There's a red dot there, that's where I hit there. This is the piece of material that I'm going to be cutting. First I have to determine how powerful the laser is going to be, how fast the laser is going to move, and how many times it's going to pass over the material. So I know that I'm going to do 100%. I'm going to slow it down to 3. So it says 3 millimeters per second, and I'm going to have it pass 1 time. Ensure that you're sticking around and things don't catch on fire. Okay, process. So now I got to push this button in the front. And away we go. So that one's done, and all it did, I can push this out of the way, was cut it to the proper dimension and even put a 1 in the corner. And now we put in the black sheet, and I'll secure that with those magnet things just on the corners. It's canvas number 2, and this is what the cutout is going to look like now. Yeah, so I haven't taken this protective piece of plastic off yet. This is what it really looks like on the inside. Smooth and green. Okay, so this process is going to take 15 minutes. All right, this one's done. Let's take the support things off. And here is the outer frame. That's the wood wasted. And we've got this piece. Put that in front of layer number 1. And now let's do the next layer. Remember, this is that masking we put on top of the other colors. Here's the brown sheet. This is layer number 3. Mark the processing area. It's going to be a rectangle. Start marking. Go to that back left corner. Push this button in front. And then we'll go to the front right corner. Push this button in front again. And you see there's the square that we marked right here and right there. And this is the thing we're going to cut out. Close the lid because it won't work unless the lid is closed. So here we go. Ready? Push the button. There you go. Processing on this one, 28 minutes. There you go. But now we've got to take the tape off. So some of this tape can be peeled off. But once we start to get to the fragile areas, we need to put something stickier than this tape on top of this to pull them both off. Now, some people use duct tape, that black duct tape, that Gorilla Tape, but here's what I find is even stickier. This is aluminum foil tape, and it's pretty sticky stuff. They use it to seal up ducting, you know, aluminum ducts, but it rips easy, just like that, but it has a backing on it. So you take the backing part off, and this part is super sticky. So we'll just like, here, let me put it on this corner just to kind of show you. This will pull off both things. See that? Oh, slew. Oh, look at that little tiny piece that it took the tape off of. Wow. Huh? Okay, let's keep going. White, black, brown. Okay, we're getting number 4 ready. Another one with the tape on it. So we're going to take the tape off of this one. Number 4 is done, and I've decided just for you to take the protective film off so we can see inside of the machine. Okay, so for the last one, I've set up the camera shooting at the laser, and I'm going to speed up the video, and you can see the laser cutting the actual piece. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to take the tape off of that one. That's the red one, right? Yeah, so, oh, look at that. It comes right off. Sometimes it comes off right from the oven. So I've created kind of a jig to hold all the pieces. It's smaller than the actual artwork. I just want to shove everything into the corner and be able to get it ready to go. And then at the end, I'm going to clamp everything. So I've got room for clamps. This is Gorilla Spray Adhesive, heavy duty, incredibly strong. And it's got a gorilla on the front, so you know it's strong. So my first one, it's going to be this, right? And this one's going to go here like that. So I'm going to spray the back of this. Flip it around and stick it down. That's like immediate adhesion. Those little tiny pieces, boy, that really helped with that. Okay, now the clamps. Lots of clamps. Put some chunks of wood down right here. That down there, maybe like that.
A few moments later.
So when you stack these layers, they're not always perfect. So if you'll notice on the edge, it's just a little off. So I have to put this through the table saw and clean up the edges so we can put a frame on there. So we're going to use, this is finger jointed pine. Going to cut them at 1 inch here. The shorter ones will go on the side, and the longer ones will be on the top. I want the piece of art to sit kind of in the middle of the frame, so right about there somewhere. And what I'll do is I'll put spacers down. We're going to, like this, you know. So there's the spacers. We'll lay it on the spacers, and I'll have a little bit of room behind the artwork to put the picture hanger on there. So we've got about a 1/4 inch on the front, just a little bit in the back. Use some Tight Bond 2 premium wood glue. I think we need some more clamps. Okay.
Day 2.
Very good. Okay, one more thing. Gotta put the picture hanger on the back. Here's the little ridge that was made when I put the spacers in, so we're gonna tuck it right inside of that. How'd I do a second time around? Pretty good? All right, well, links to all of the materials used are in the description below. And if you have any questions about what I did, you can always ask me in the comments, right? Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.